breaking news. Chiefs beat the Raiders, finally, for the 11th time in the last 12 games. The Chiefs under Mahomes have owned the Raiders. Bottom line. You know, you can talk about how impressed you are with Pierce and the coaching job he's done since he basically took the interim coaching job there in Vegas. And make no mistake about it, he wants to have the full-time job. And he's done enough, I think, already to get that job. But Christmas Day optics can be good and they can be bad. And I don't see any reason to believe that the optics of the Chiefs and the position they're in this time of year with extra time to prepare Andy Reid, how the Raiders can do what they did last weekend. I believe they can do what they did 2 weeks ago when they lost 3-0. What you need to know is this. Mahomes has averaged 303.5 yards passing against the Raiders in his career. Now, obviously, this isn't the same Raiders team that they were 5-6 years ago when Mahomes broke in and replaced a legendary Utah quarterback that played for San Francisco and Kansas City, now retired, Alex Smith. And he doesn't have the receivers. I mean, when you're depending on Rashid Rice, a rookie, and, of course, the always reliable Travis Kelce, you're still going to be in pretty good shape, especially if you can run the ball, and especially since this is probably the best defensive unit that Mahomes has played with since he's been in Kansas City. They've always been enough offensively to overcome the shortcoming, overcome some of their Achilles on the defensive side of the football. And this year, it's been a little bit of the reverse, mostly because the Chiefs are on a historic rampage. The receivers are for the Chiefs to drop more balls than ever. Well, since the turn of the century, since 2000, which is saying something. It's saying something. And the fact that it's only 4 or 5%, I had somebody tell me that 4 or 5% is all the balls they've dropped. Well, 4 or 5% sometimes. I'll give you an example. In baseball, 4 or 5% can be the difference between being in the Hall of Fame and not in the Hall of Fame. So if that means anything to you, 4 or 5% drop balls, drop passes means a lot. It means a lot. That means 4 or 5% of every pass he throws on game day was dropped. And some of those drops have been touchdowns, drops in the end zone, drops wide open, drops where there was nobody in front of that receiver. That changes a little bit too. This is the time of year when Andy Reid and Mahomes are at their best. This is the time of year when they get to play the Raiders. They don't even have to try very hard, and they're at their best. What's at stake in this game? Not much for the Raiders, other than Pierce playing for a contract, a coaching contract that would make him the full-time bench boss for the Vegas Raiders, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal despite how bad this team has been since young Allen has taken over for the Big Allen, and that would be Al Davis, not Allen. But that said, they just haven't been very good. I mean, they just haven't been very good since Gruden won the Super Bowl with the Raiders. They've never smelled the postseason. What's at stake is the Chiefs could celebrate Christmas with an AFC West title. They win the AFC title, and how many years in a row is it? We're getting to the point where the Chiefs, and this is a stretch, but we're getting to the point where the Chiefs are Mahomes and the Chiefs are the Brady and the Patriots and the Belichick of that 15-year stretch or 20-year stretch where they were the bomb. They were the boss. They were fortunate to play in a division that was soft typically, but the same can be said for Kansas City in this division with the Chargers and the Raiders and the Broncos. They've really not had a big challenge. They've typically clinched the division by this time of the season, and now here we are again. In Week 16, they can clinch the division with a win over a Raiders team that is in second place and could be in fourth place. Probably wouldn't even be, like I said, they've been pretty fortunate to win 6 games and unfortunate to lose games that were 3-0. What do you want to know about this game? The Raiders are 10-4 to the under this season, tied for the highest under percentage in the NFL. Why? They're not inconsistent offensively. They really are. Playing a rookie quarterback that we have some film on now. And I trust Spags. the DC for the Chiefs to do what he's done all season, and that is be prepared and do enough where Kansas City can be average offensively and win on Sunday. Mahomes for throws over 300 again against the Raiders. Rashid Rice has a breakout game. He's had a few, but a real breakout game against this Raiders secondary. Gains over 150 yards. And the running game is back. They'll be full strength again in the backfield for the Chiefs. And all things equal, in complete transparency, the Chiefs are going to win this game. And they'll probably, it's going to be over by the end of the first quarter. At halftime, they'll have the number covered, the double-digit number covered, and they'll extend that lead. There will be no letting up. There will be no foot off the gas pedal, onto the brake. And at this point in time, Andy Reid's going to show some things he probably doesn't want to show, but he's going to win these last 3 games of the season and have a chance still has a chance to be the #1 seed in the AFC. Take the Chiefs, lay the number at Arrowhead, and a big day for Mahomes, for Rice, and for the Chiefs running game. Chiefs by 10, 20 or more over the Raiders. Before you go, let me repeat, let me give you a code that you don't want to miss. Any Wager Talk, Sports Memo, Handicapper, you can get an all access, 20% off any all access. It's 3-day, 7-day, 1 year, 20% off. All you need to do is when you go to checkout, you want to put in code TAKE20, TAKE20. See you next week. Bet the Chiefs.